Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 2022 Mercury Retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see. There we go. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Virgo be affected by the January 2022 Mercury Retrograde? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. 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 At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy, and we have the Fool. So there's a new beginning, but there's also a profound transformation that's coming. And that makes perfect sense. Virgo, we're ruled by Mercury. And when Mercury goes into retrograde, we feel this more than other signs do. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and so is Gemini. These two signs feel it the most. So if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, this will be even more profound. All right. So just be aware of this. And if we have Scorpio energy within our natal chart, it comes through very powerfully at the root form of our personality. Then we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Eight of Wands. We then have the Page of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and we have the Horned One, which is Capricorn energy. So if we have Capricorn energy within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully at our heart, just as air sign energy does. We have the Four of Cups, a gift is being given to us, and we have the Five of Wands, where we're ready for a fight. There's an energy around us where we're not seeing the gifts that are being given, even though one is, and we're kind of ready for a fight. We're itching for a fight. So be aware of this during this time. Do not let our egos take over, because if we do, we're going to be led down a path that we really don't have any desire to walk, but we'll keep on walking it to prove ourselves right. So that's going to be something that's going to be a bit intense. So let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Death card. It's interesting because this comes through at our root. So we can have a secretive kind of mentality to us, because Scorpios are always just a little bit secretive. They don't show all their cards, which is not a bad thing at all. More people should be like that, but we can take it to the extreme. We can also have people in our lives who are very secretive, and that's just going to be something we need to be aware of and not be drawn into people's secrets, people's lies, people's shadows. That's going to be very important for us. Then we have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is grounding. And this is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We need to ground ourselves. We need to root ourselves. We need to understand how we are nourishing ourselves and what we are feeding ourselves that isn't right and what we are feeding ourselves that is. So the grounding energy is going to be really important because we're going to be looking at certain patterns, certain habits within our lives, certain ways that we are eating, certain ways that we are sleeping, certain, routines that we have, and say, is this good for me or isn't this? Certain people who are in our lives, is this good for me or isn't this? So just be very aware of this during this time. Now let's talk about Mercury retrograde. We have the shadow period, the pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde, which is from the 29th of December to the 14th of January. And again, as somebody who is ruled by Mercury, we feel this. We feel this a lot. And there's going to be a sense of, I just need to fix it to make it all better so then I can be able to move forward. And there's just an anger to it. I mean, I'm ruled by Mercury. I feel the frustration in it. And so we have to be aware of this energy that's here and now, because we have Saturn in Aquarius, and this energy has Saturn in a Uranus filled ruled, planet. So Saturn rules Capricorn, which comes through at our heart. We're earth sign energy. We're going to feel very comfortable with rules, with, plans, with the way that we're supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to do things. And we're going to think, okay, if I just have a good enough plan, then I can get to the freedom that I want. Then I can have what it is that I really desire. And yes, discipline is super important, but we can't let it rule us. And we're going to have a tendency to either look at the discipline and say, I have to be this discipline, and then just instinctually rebel against it, be like, no, I'm not having anybody, even myself, tell me what to do. Or we're going to look at this plan and say, I have to follow it to the T. And then we just bring misery to ourselves because we're not letting ourselves express or, veer from those rules that we've set up, and it's not letting us discover and imagine and become. So just be really aware of this during this time. And this is the energy that we're bringing into Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde begins on the 14th of January and ends on the 4th of February. Now Mercury is in Aquarius, and it is this energy that Mercury, the Aquarius energy, is a place that Mercury really likes being. It really does. It is a positive energy place for Mercury. And we need to be able to express ourselves through our words, our language, our ideas, our concepts, whatever gets us thinking and moving outside of the box. We really need to be able to do this. Now, even though Mercury is comfortable in Aquarius, and I know we say words and language as two different things, but they are going to be two different things. It can be the learning of language that we love. It can be the rhythm, the melody of language that we're drawn to, so more as music, more as expression, than the words, the individual meanings of the words, the way that we are connecting, the deeper understanding, the fact that we might be saying the same thing but coming from different angles. So just be aware of this. So again, Mercury feels very comfortable in Aquarius, but when Mercury is in retrograde, we can find this breakdown to be of communication to just be overwhelming, to be frustrating, to be like, wait, but things are supposed to be going right. And that's going to be amplified by the fact that we are ruled by Mercury and things are just supposed to be going right. Like we're supposed to be able to communicate and understand and express what it is that we really need. Now, Jupiter and Neptune are going to be in Pisces, and Jupiter and Pisces have a lot of similarities to them. They feel very comfortable in this energy. Jupiter feels very comfortable in the energy of Pisces, and Jupiter has been in Pisces in the pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde. So this caring, nurturing energy is still with us. This friendly energy is still with us. Now, with Neptune in Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces. Our dreams are very important to us. And this is going to be one of the reasons why we want to make such a concrete plan to be able to move forward in our dreams. We're like, new year, new me, right? I'm going to embrace my dreams. I'm going to take it over. I'm going to go after what it is that we want. But we can't actually feel like we've started the new year maybe off on the wrong foot or in a way that has been draining us instead of accelerating us forward. So there's going to be a need to look at our dreams, our heart's desire, what we truly want to express within our lives, and see the invisible kingdom, because Neptune is known as the Lord of the invisible kingdom. So being able to connect with this is going to be such a profound influence. And the grounding influence of our heart needs to come forward. But we need to not take it, to the extreme, which is going to be very easy for us. So just be mindful of this. Venus is going to be in Capricorn. Our heart here has Capricorn in it. So we have to be very mindful of this, especially if we have, Taurus or Libra energy within our natal chart, because Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus, very emotional, very heart-led signs. And so this makes it hard for us to express our emotions with Venus in Capricorn. And this really doesn't help our Mercury retrograde, because we're already feeling like I can't express the words that I want. I can't say the right things. Everything is getting muddled. I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting upset. And then we have, Venus in Capricorn. I can't express what I feel. I'm missing the mark. I'm missing the mark constantly. I'm having to apologize if we're aware enough to be able to apologize. But, we want to get to the point where we're not having to say we're sorry, because we're not messing up to begin with. So just understand the frustration is real. The frustration is felt by everybody. This will also make us rather secretive and withdrawn, because we feel anxious. We feel like we can't trust ourselves. We feel rather sad. So be aware of this. Now, we have Mercury trine the moon. Now, with Mercury trine the moon, this is another place that Mercury likes to be. Mercury likes to be with the moon. And we will have good memories, a peaceful soul, good communication skills, probably when we're by ourselves, which sounds like a funny thing to say when we have good communication skills, but we can be really good at writing letters, at, journaling, at, writing, painting, whatever has us communicating silently our own soul. That's going to be rather easy for us. But with Mercury in retrograde, we feel like we almost get there in communications with others, and then we muck it up, like something mucks it up, and that's going to be really frustrating. Mercury is going to be conjunct Saturn. Now remember, Saturn rules Capricorn, so we feel this very much at an emotional level. We find ourselves distrusting our own abilities and our own imaginations. And we have this really practical approach to things, and we will also find it hard to truly express what it is that we want, what it is that we're thinking. We can let rules get in the way and say, this is the practical approach, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and then things start to crumble because we're not letting ourselves express, we're not letting ourselves, take detours. We're going to say, I have to stick to this script no matter what. So just be aware of this. Now, Mercury is going to be squared Uranus. Now, this makes everybody astoundingly opinionated. Everybody's talking about their own freedom. Everybody wants to express themselves the way that they want to. Everybody is, talking. Nobody is listening. And the world has had enough of this right now. And so this is going to be very, very frustrating. This brings a tremendous amount of frustration, because there's such a strong sense of I'm right, you're wrong, you couldn't possibly understand type of mentality going on here, that people are automatically on attack mode, which is going to be what nobody wants, which is going to make things so much more difficult. And this is going to make us tremendously introverted, and it's going to bring us, it's going to make us shrink away from our own abilities, from our own problem solving, because we're going to think it's just not enough, right? I'm just not bringing enough to the table, and that's going to be really sad. It would be a sad thing if we embrace that. Now, from the 4th of February to the 24th of February, we have the post-shadow period. Now, the moon is going to be sextile Mercury. This brings peace and intelligence. We just have to step out of our own egos and then we'll be able to step into what we truly want. So that's going to be a little bit frustrating, because egos are just going to be so big. When Mercury retrograde is in play, egos become profound. Now, Mercury is going to be sextile Neptune. We have amazing imaginations, yet we find it hard to bring these ideas to life. So we have to be very mindful of perfection, getting in the way of us being able to move forward, of us being able to go after what we desire. Mercury is going to be conjunct Pluto. Now, this alignment brings chaotic thinking, because the subconscious and the conscious thinking process intertwine. So we're kind of all over the place, and everybody's all over the place during this time, and nobody's really able to explain what it is that they're seeing. And they just think, okay, if I have enough time, if I have enough, I'll be able to make you see what I'm saying. And that's just not going to be the way about it. So just be mindful of this. The MC is going to be squared Mercury. Now, this is us being intelligent, business savvy, likable, this is really good, but we're also going to be relentless in our pursuits and easily distracted and easily scattered. So we're going to be like a dog with a bone. We're just going to go after it and after it and after it, and it can be absolutely exhausting. And especially if we're going after something that isn't the right thing, but we've already put so much time and effort into it, we're going to make it work. It's like the evil stepsister in Cinderella making the slipper fit. It's not going to work. Mercury is going to be trying the north lunar node. Now this is a very interesting thing because we're very curious about ourselves and about others. We dive deep into everything, and we can lose sight of what it is that we really want to go after, because either we're trying to heal everything, we're trying to heal everyone, we're trying to figure out the deeper causes of things, and that's just going to be intense. So do be mindful of that. Okay. So we have here at our root the Death card. This is transformation. This is a sense of stepping out of the shadows. And this is also a sense of stepping into the shadows. There is this power to us. There is this evolving understanding of who we are and what we want and where we're moving and what we desire and, where it is that we need to be. And as we are transforming ourselves, we are seeing ourselves better, but we're also going to have to mourn the person that we might have thought we would be and the person that we are now. And there is such a power to this transformation. There's such a power to where we stand that it's going to be overwhelming. So just be mindful of this. I've had this song stuck in my head, Thanks for the Memories by Bob Hope. And I love that song. But there's a verse in it that says, thanks for the memories, and he says, and how are all those little dreams that never did come true? And that's what we can feel like with this. Like all the little dreams that never did come true, all the things that I thought I would have by this point, by this time, that aren't. And am I going to beat myself up over them? Am I going to talk them in circles around myself until I am a conglomeration of my failures and my hurts and my pains and my disappointments, of my doubts, of my fears? Or am I going to step out into the world and say, okay, things didn't happen the way that I thought they were going to, but I'm still worth it. I'm still powerful because, you see this image, you see the person holding the sickle, right? Or the scythe, I don't know which one it is. And there's power to that imagery. There's power to that imagery. And what we're looking at here is the power of the transformation of death. The power of the transformation of, I'm not the same person I was when I was 15 years old. None of us are. I'm not the same person I was when I was 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. We can go on and say, I have changed. Situations around me have changed. The world has changed. The people around me have changed. And so I'm looking at who I am now. And I might mourn. And I might say, but I liked that person. Well, how do I get back? How do I get back to that energy? How do I get back to that understanding, that confidence? Because we are forever changing, forever growing, forever gaining an understanding. But how do we get back the good pieces of us as we move forward? We embrace that we are changing. We embrace the evolution of ourselves. And that's where we go on this fool's journey. And remember, every single person who goes on the fool's journey, who says, this is what I want for my life, this is what I'm going after. Well, this is the hero's journey. The hero's journey is to say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going after, this is what I'm determined. And this is why we think if I throw enough rules at it, if I throw enough regulations at it, if I throw enough at it, I'll be able to get there. But what if I just have to embrace the way that I've transformed? The fact that, like the phases of the moon, I will always be changing the face that I present to the world, that I present even to myself. And so the hero's journey is the fool's journey, because everybody laughs and says, oh my gosh, they said that will never happen. You could never do this. What makes you think you can? And for some of us, we were born with a dream within our heart that says, this is what I'm supposed to do. I was listening to Barbra Streisand talk, and she said she just always knew. And her mother told her she was never going to be a singer and that she wasn't that great, and she always knew that that was what she was supposed to do. And she went after it, and she became Barbra Streisand, right? So here, it's like, what is it within me that I'm supposed to move forward in, that I know is supposed to be a part of my life, that other people mock, that other people laugh? It could be, being a singer. It could be being an actor. It could be, anything like that. And we have to maybe not try to go after simply being famous, because I don't think that's healthy at all for that adulation, for that, idea to be thrown upon us. But the power of, I believe in my dreams. I believe in myself. And however I move forward in this recognition of my skills and what I want for my life, is the way that I embrace myself, is the way that I move forward in the power that is me. And that becomes something extraordinary. that really does become something extraordinary. And we can look at it, and it could be as, simple as, or, quote unquote simple as, I want to become, a baker, and I want to own my own, deli. I want to be able to bake and connect with my community that way. And we can look at that and say, oh, what type of dream is that? It's supposed to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Why do we always build up the grandiose and look at the things that make up our world and our society and our connections and say, oh yeah, that's nothing? No, it is something. It is powerful. I always wanted to be a parent. Well, what if you're getting older? Or what if, medically things have happened and people say, oh no, you can never. And they laugh and they mock. Well, you can. You might be different ways. It might be through adoption. It might be through fostering. It might be through, many different ways. But don't let other people decide your path for you. And that's what the Fool is doing here. The Fool is saying, no, I'm going for it. I'm letting the sun shine within me. And it brings us to that passion, to that fire. And that's in us. There is just a fire in us that needs to be looked at. And as we take this gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands us this gift of our passion, our fire, our new beginnings, our insights, our ideas, all of a sudden things start moving very, very quickly. And as things start moving very, very quickly, the Eight of Wands is that fast movement. It brings us to the Page of Swords. We're looking at our hearts and our minds coming together. And that's important because emotionally to be aware of what we're feeling and mentally to be able to evaluate that and understand that, well, that's extraordinary. And so the Page of Swords comes in. We have this link with us right here to the spirit world, to this emotional connection. We have insight and ideas and messages coming our way. There's going to be this door that is opened. And as this door is opened, we're seeing the path that we want to move forward. We're also being students. Our heart is looking at our mind and saying, what is it that you want? Because I'm not quite sure all the time what it is that I want. And we're coming to realizations. We're taking the messages from spirit. We're opening ourselves up to learning, to understanding, to breaking down these barriers. And it brings us to the devil. We're looking at the things at our heart that have kept us rigid, that have kept us stuck, that have kept us overwhelmed, that have denied us and said no. And what we're going to be seeing here is we're breaking chains. We're breaking the spell, quote unquote, that we've been put under by society, by our own expectations for ourselves. And we're saying there gets to be more here. There gets to be a purpose and a power and a brilliance to my life that maybe I myself haven't always seen, haven't always understood. And maybe I am part of the chain that drags me down. This is also looking at our addictions. This is looking at, the addictions that we can maybe easily name or understand that are bad, drugs and alcohol and, overeating and sex and everything like that. And we can say, okay, these are bad things to be addicted to. But it can be also addicted to self-doubt, self-hatred. It could be addicted to not seeing our own worth, which would be, self-doubt. It could be sabotage, anxiety, whatever it is that we keep on perpetuating within our lives that does not help us, that does not aid us. That's an addiction. And why are we bringing it forward? It could be to chaos. We're so used to living in chaos. We might have grown up in chaos where the world was always chaos. And so things have to be messy so that I can say, oh no, you can't come in. It's such a mess because I get to have a sanctuary. I get to have a place where I'm safe, right? And so that's what we're looking at here. And we're looking at the devil saying, but there's light. Because the horned ones, they're nunus. This energy of the forest that comes in and says, life is chaos. It will always be chaos. Where's your light? Where's your beacon? Where's your understanding? Where's your meditation? And it brings us to the Four of Cups. It brings us to, here it says yearning, disillusionment, and boredom. It's like we're seeing what's before us. And it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, okay, this is Tuesday. I'm great with it. But there's this gift that's being handed to us. And it's like, how do I take this? How do I move forward in this? How do I even see this? Because divinity is saying, tapping us on the shoulder and saying, hey, listen, kid, look at what I'm handing you. Look at what's coming your way. And we're so busy looking over here and like, it's okay. Things are okay. And so this is going to be powerful for us. It's going to be powerful for us to see this cup. Because this cup, even though it's in this golden light and it's beautiful, here, I always see the cups as being the one that's being given to us. It's like being handmade and worn and the one that we would never look at because it doesn't put on the show that it's supposed to. And yet, when we take it, it's like the story behind that cup is extraordinary. And then we have the Five of Wands. And here it says competition, debate, defense, Well, the Five of Wands is fighting. The Five of Wands is chaos for the sake of chaos. It can be something that has gotten out of hand. Most definitely, it can be an argument that has just gone on way too long, or a debate that has gone on that was started off as a friendly debate or a friendly, opposite of opinion type of thing, and became this battle, became this, hill to die on type of mentality. And we have to be very, not worried, we have to be very mindful about this, because the energy around us is like, oh no, you're going to have to fight. Oh no, you're going to have to fight. And that's just going to exhaust us. We're already a bit exhausted from Mercury retrograde. So we have to look at this exhaustive energy and say, why? Why am I feeding you? And why aren't I seeing the gifts that are coming my way? Why is it going to be so easy for us in the public arena to ignore all the change that's going on inside of us, all the power that is moving us, and, be bored with our existence and be angry and be frustrated? So that's going to be something we really do have to be aware of. Our subconscious, energy to be mindful of is the Chariot. And the Chariot is Cancer energy. It is the subconscious and the conscious pulling us in different directions. It's people who, emotions are just completely out of alignment with themselves and just running amok. So just be aware. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, and this is dreams. These are our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, our desires. This is the third eye chakra. And this is a sense of, my dreams are telling me more than I ever realized. And it can be that something sticks out from our dreams. So if we keep a little journal where we can write our dreams in, I usually don't remember my dreams. And it's not that I don't dream. I wake up with a sense of peace or a sense of frustration. But this one dream I had last night, I woke up and I was like, I was wearing high-heeled shoes, which I don't wear. And I was just running around being able to do everything. And I looked down at my shoes and I thought, oh, I don't wear these shoes. Like, what the heck is going on? And then I woke up. And I looked up what high-heeled shoes meant and being able to accomplish. It was like, you're going to be able to accomplish, things that you hadn't been able to before. And it's going to be little things like that you look at and you think, oh, this is so silly. Or this doesn't, fall into alignment with who I am and what I'm going for in my life. And yet our dreams are going to be talking to us in such a way where it says, like, stop being scared, or, look at this certain thing, or, pay attention, wake up type of thing. And it's going to be very powerful. It is going to be very powerful for us. And it's going to be something where it's like, oh, okay, I hear you. I see you. I see what you're saying. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, and that's the Empress. We're birthing something forward into our world. We're nurturing and building and birthing and understanding so much more about ourselves than we have before. And that's going to be a real gift. It can be something that we walk away from and say, oh no, I don't want this. But this is a nurturing, motherly energy. That doesn't have to be that we have to become a mother or even want to be. What it is that I'm moving this forward. I'm bringing this into existence, this power within myself. I don't have to wait for it to be perfect. When it's time to come out, it's time to come out, right? It's time to come forward. And I can't hold on to it forever. So just be mindful. Just be mindful of that. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the Seven of Swords. It's that energy, again, of I'm ready to fight. No. I do apologize. It's the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Swords is the sense of, it's a sense of deeper desire, of looking at the ways that we have been betrayed and hurt. And again, yeah, it is that fighting mentality. That's why the Seven of Wands came up so quickly. It's like, I have to defend myself because I'm going to be betrayed. I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm not going to be able to move the way that I want to, or have the life that I'm going to want to have, or be the person that I'm going to want to be. It's all going to be too much. And Spirit is saying here, yeah, you've been betrayed. Everybody gets betrayed. But it's the way that we react to that betrayal. It's the way that we gather up our knowledge. It's the way that we move forward that defines us. And it's not saying that there will never be hurt or betrayal in our lives again. There might very well be. But it's, how wise have we become? How strong have we become? That, do we let it shatter us? Or do we look at it and say, how sad for you to be the betrayer, to be the hurt and the pain, and look at that person and just think, you're a fool. And not in the becoming so much more, but in the way that you couldn't see a good thing when it was handed to you, type of thing. Our subconscious emotional self, well, it's the Eight of Wands. We're ready for that change. We really are. And we are getting swept away with it. We're being built up in it, in our inner selves. And now it's like, I'm moving forward towards it. And we're going to have to step back a little bit and say, what the heck's going on here? And then we're going to see, and it's like, oh, okay. Okay, now I'm going. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the lovers. That's Gemini energy. Okay, so that's Mercury energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury coming in again. And this is love. This is friendship. This is connection. This is our passion and our desire and what lights our world on fire. Not in a romantic sense, though it could become that. But it's like, this is what I love for my life. Like, this is who I am and what I'm discovering about myself. I'm bringing the passion back into my life. I'm finding the joy and the beauty for myself again. And that is extraordinary. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and the intensity of this Mercury retrograde. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo, and may you have a blessed Mercury retrograde.